Hi, welcome to another Coffee with Stacy. This is turning out to be a very poorly named thing because again I'm drinking water. But what can you do? Drink with Stacy. So right now I'm in the middle of packaging the Kit Club shipments. So if you're not familiar, the FreshStitches Kit Club is something I offer. You sign up and you'll get a kit in your mail, your physical mail, every other month. So it has yarn, a pattern, and a goodie. And it's a whole lot of fun. I've been doing it, this is Kit Club 9, so it's every other month. That means it's been a year and a half. Holy for holies. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun to talk about what goes into making the Kit Club. You might just be curious, like, what in the world does Stacy do when she's not online for that week? Missing. And you might also just be a crafty person interested in doing your own kind of thing and just curious about the details. Everyone has to start somewhere, and I certainly got advice when I started, and I've given other people advice when they want to do something similar. So it's going to be both curiosity and information doing. So yay, here we go. I have notes in front of me, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So how does the Kit Club work? There's a button on my website. It's a PayPal operated cart, and you subscribe and you're automatically enrolled. Every other month you are charged, and then you get shipped a kit for what you're charged for. When I started, my basic pricing structure is sort of like this. So I need to charge for the amount of the yarn in it, right? I have a goodie that I put in it. I print the pattern. There's the shipping cost, so that actually differs for whether you're in the US, Canada, or the world. So you sign up for a US subscription or a world subscription. And there's time involved with winding. So when I did the calculations, I figured someone should earn $8 an hour for winding. That's now me, but it could be in the future a person I hire. I'm keeping that open depending on how big and crazy it gets. So all of that together, I charge $16 a month. Let's just call it a shipment. It's every other month for the kit. So that's the same price as my normal kit. So it's a pricing challenge. I didn't want this to be very expensive. I wanted it to be available for most of my customers, and so some of the money, so I save some money because I'm buying things in such bulk. I can get a discounted price. Like for example, shipping 100 pounds of yarn to my house isn't twice as expensive as shipping 50 pounds of yarn to my house. So that's one way in which I'm able to do it. Another thing is just knowing that it's that number to go out, and winding them all at one time saves on time a little bit. But I do want people to keep in mind it's the same price as a normal kit. So, you know, some clubs might have like a project bag or like a yarn bowl or a whatnot. Mine doesn't include things like that because, well, I can't afford to. That's the balance that comes with making it really reasonably priced. So the goodies are on the small side, but I think they're really fun, and it's allowing me to keep it accessible to lots of people. So that was a trade-off I made, like a decision I made at the beginning. The other thing that just like to note about the Kit Club from a business perspective, sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth between businessy things and things customers might be interested in, so this is just all that it is. Sorry, I'm scratching because I got bit by a mosquito. It's chilly in Minnesota, so I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, and I thought I'd be safe without spritz, and then like they eat through shirts, so that's how it is. When one signs up for the Kit Club, they're doing a subscription. So they're being charged $16 plus whatever the shipping is until they unsubscribe. That system means that I can't change the price without unsubscribing someone and asking them to sign up again. So this is something that's always in my mind as the club progresses, right? This was a year and a half ago I set the price, and I need to be very aware of what that price is, even as things change over time, right? So yarn, I just got a notice from my yarn company that costs are going up by 5%. Shipping costs occasionally go up with the postal service. Fortunately, this last time, the parcel package prices weren't affected. It was mostly smaller, large envelopes, so that was good. But if there's a serious price increase, it would be a major hassle, logistical challenge, let's call it, for me to get everyone onto a different pricing structure. And I would probably lose customers because they might forget to sign up for the newer price or something like that. So it's always in my mind how to shift things around to keep the price consistent even as lots of things are changing. That's something that's definitely in my mind. Another thing that's in my mind in terms of pricing is I have calculated everything based on an 8-ounce package. So for the US, it honestly doesn't really matter that much if it's 8 ounces or if it bumps up to 9 ounces. You know, I'm paying an extra 20 cents for someone to ship a package. That's fine. About 20 to 30% of my packages, though, are international. International postage, if you haven't shipped a lot of things, you don't pay per ounce. It's not, the increments aren't per ounce. It's every 4 ounces. So you can ship like a 4-ounce package, an 8-ounce package, or like a 12-ounce package. So one shipment, it was 10 ounces. Whoopsies, I didn't really, there's no way to know in advance. You're ordering all this stuff, and I'll talk about all the stuff I'm ordering later. And then I put it together, and it was 10 ounces. So for the international customers, I had to ship a 12-ounce package because that's the next shipping thing you can do. And that cost it cost me an extra couple dollars per package that I was sending out. And everyone's already been charged for the amount, and it's not fair to just be like, oh, sorry, you owe me extra money. So that was a cost that just, it's the cost of doing business. So that's another thing I'm always very aware of. And going along with that is shipping, like customs, what are they called? Whatever, custom stuff. So I have to be careful, things like food might cause someone problem, if I put in a chocolate, that might cause, I have to put food on the customs package, and that might be a problem in some countries. So that's something I'm really aware of too. What goes into ordering? Okay, so let me just go through the things for one Kit Club shipment that I need to order to get it out the door. I need the boxes to put the stuff in, packing tape, the shipping labels, and then the bags that the kit goes in, and then the fluorescent labels that say what your URL and password are, I get from one place. The yarn I get from the yarn manufacturer. There's eyeballs, the plastic safety eyes, I get that from my eyeball person. There's, what else? The printed pattern, I get that from my printer. If you're a new member, you get a card with a welcome card with a button. So the cards I order from my business card place. The buttons I order from my button place. There's a ribbon that I just go to a big craft store and buy the ribbon. That's not fancy. And then what else is there? There's the goodie, and that I change where I get it from every time. So I'm just looking for, whatever I think would be really great, and I order that from wherever. So all of these things come in different quantities too. So the boxes come by 25 per order. The bags come by the 1,000. The labels come by the 3,000. The buttons come by the 100. The business cards come by the 250. All of these things. So like when you put in an order, you might think like, okay, I'll order 500 this time and that should be good. And then, but that you might run out, and then you have to order again, because I try and order maybe 2 months at a time so that I'm not paying for shipping every single time. And then, it's good news when you get extra signups, and then whoops, you don't have enough new person buttons for the next time, and then you order again. So that's a really serious logistical challenge. Ordering everything, and everything has a different shipping time. So boxes, no problem. I live close to the distribution center. I can order them and actually pick them up the same day. Totally no problem. Which is good, because one month we had a pipe burst and it flooded our basement, and that's where I had been keeping all of the next month's boxes to be safe, and they all got ruined, and I had to go get new boxes like the next day to make the shipment on time. But other things, who knows how long they can take. So this time, the goodie, I'm not going to say what it is because it's secret and not everyone's gotten their parcel. The company I got them from, I found them at TNA, and I was really excited about this goodie. I definitely wanted to give it to people. And I called in advance to make sure they had enough quantity in stock, because that's becoming a real problem. People will keep 100 of something in stock, but companies don't generally keep multiple hundreds of one particular thing there. So that's a limitation. So I called, I made sure they had the right number of this thing in stock, and before you could order from them, they needed proof that you're like a legit business. So I had to send invoices. I had to send like my Minnesota Department of Revenue certification papers. And then they don't take orders over the phone. You have to mail in an order. Then they send you an invoice, and then you pay them. And different things can have different shipping times. And so it took like 3 weeks to get this goodie in. And I was like sweating bullets the whole time to make sure that they'd get there in time. So that's also something to keep in mind too. So when I started the club, I had a rolling enrollment. So you could sign up whenever. And if you signed up before the 30th of, let's say it was November, well, let's say it was December, your package would ship in January. So that gave me, and I ship by the 20th, so that gave me 20 days to order everything and get it out. That became a problem because I couldn't get the quantities I needed. Like, for example, this goodie took me over 3 weeks to get this goodie. There was no way I could place an order and hope to have it, because I need it shipped to my house in less than 2 weeks, right? If I'm going to box it all up and get it out by 3 weeks. So that wasn't working. And so I've switched to a different system, which is there's a limited enrollment period. It's all on the Kit Club website. There's a sign-up window. You sign up during that time, and it allows me more time to order items, get them together, make sure I have everything before it's time to ship out. So the downside to that system is that you can't sign up all the time. So if you hear about me on a podcast and you're so jazzed about the Kit Club, and you go and it's the 20th of April or who knows what, and that's not during the sign-up period, you can't sign up. So I know I lose customers that way because you're inspired. Maybe you forget by the time it's the 10th of May or whatever the next window is, and I've probably lost that customer. But the plus side is that people who are signed up are getting quality things, and I think that's worth waiting for. There will be a point. It's probably going to be the end of 2014 where you won't be able to sign up every other month, because as the club grows, it's even hard to get the quantities now that I need with that kind of the current sign up window. So keep your eyes on the website. I announce everything in advance. I don't believe in surprises. Well, I believe in surprises, but I don't believe in serious surprises. So what's in the box is a surprise. When you can buy the box shouldn't be a surprise. And I will post details about that. And I think that's just part of a natural progression for how the business changes, and everyone's been really understanding. I don't think anyone has felt like ripped off or sad about these changes, but they're just what has to happen to make everything really successful. Other things that people ask me that I should explain, I guess. So I already told you about how I calculated the price at the beginning. So there's the price of the yarn, there's the price of the goodie, there's the amount of time that goes into winding it, and all of these things I'm balancing to make it cost effective and to make it work, because as I said, I can't I can't say like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing idea, it's just going to be $20, let me just change it for January. That doesn't work in the system we have. So I'm balancing these different factors all the time. So one example is when you join the club, I ask you what your favorite color is. And I don't always use this information, but sometimes I do. So a few months ago, one of the kits was a caterpillar with a really cute little mustache. And you got the caterpillar there were 3 or 4 different colors, and you got a caterpillar that contained your favorite color if you told me what your favorite color was. So that takes a lot of extra time to maneuver. This month's shipment has some different colors of things, and no lie, I should have brought it out here with me for the camera. I have a table on a notebook with 40 different cells because there's 4 different colors. If you like, when I'm packaging it, right, there's those different colors, and then there's domestic and international shipping, which have to go through different processes when I'm printing the labels. And then if you're new or not, it changes what goes in the package, because if you're new, you get the welcome card with the button, right? So doing a color-based kit takes so much more time. So that is a factor, you know, and if I'm charging for labor, that takes away from the price of the goodie. So that goodie wasn't incredibly expensive. I thought it was super cute, like that little, it was November and it's Movember, you know, it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month and everyone wears mustaches, and so I thought it was super cute and clever. I did get an email saying, you know what, that I wanted a better goodie and I'm leaving the club. And that's okay. I can't make everyone happy every time, but that's an example of a time where I was working very hard on putting a lot of effort into colors, and that made the money I could spend on the goodie less. There's other times where, for example, I have it so one time I gave out a skein of Stonehenge fiber mill yarn. They're the mill ends, and it's like lots of different colors. It's like the coolest yarn, everyone's different, and that was more expensive. Went over my budget on the yarn in that one, but because I wasn't winding each skein, it made the time quicker, so I was able to spend more money on the yarn by taking away from the labor. So those are the things that sort of go into how I make my decisions, and I try and toss all those things around. Last month, I can tell you now because the time is over, I designed a new pattern exclusively for the club. That took a bit more time. You know, in preparing the kit club, I had to, you know, do this little scheduling thing to get the stuff printed and all that. And so that, but a lot of people were really excited about having an exclusive pattern. On the other side, I did get a couple emails of people saying, I don't like the robot. One person said they were going to leave, and that's, you know, I try my hardest, and I think most people know I really am trying my hardest. If you don't like the robot, I don't know. I thought it was cute as all get out, but the club is sort of a surprise. So it's true, you're relying on me to sort of pick what I think is great. And, you know, if you want like the brown owl, then maybe the club isn't right for you, and you can just order from the website the kits. So there is an exclusivity period. So I get emails saying like, can I buy the robot pattern? And the answer is not right now. There's a 6-month period where it's whatever happens in the kit club is exclusive to what happens in the kit club. So those things aren't available until that period's over. In the fall, I will be posting some previous kits for sale. So for the $16, you'll be able to purchase the kit that was in the kit club and get it that way. So I'm excited about that opportunity because it gives people a chance to buy it maybe didn't have the financial means to sign up at the time, or maybe they didn't know about me at the time. I mean, that was a while ago. Not every kit will be available that way. So some materials I can't get again because of minimum orders. For example, a particular yarn company might have a minimum order, and if I can't buy in that quantity, then the bugs are really bad. Then I can't I can't just buy for 25 kits that way. But if it is possible, then I'm going to be doing it. And I really look forward to doing that. What are some things that have changed over time? Some I've talked about. When I started, I was winding the kits by hand, like this. And I was printing postage on my inkjet, what are they called? Bubble jet, whatever, those ink printers, and cutting out the label and taping it on the package. And I'm cool. I should put on spray or bar, which is ironic because I just wrote a blog post about ways to, make sure mosquitoes don't get you, and I didn't put on my stuff before I came out. That's how it goes. I also was taking international packages to the post office because from the USPS website, you can't print international postage. These were 18-hour days that I was working to get it out in time. It was absolutely crazy. But it was like, I'm a big believer in when you start something, to start small and not go into debt to create it, because you don't know how popular it's going to be. When it was obvious that it was popular and it was sticking around for a while, I bought a power winder. So it's electronic. You've probably seen it in my blog posts. It winds the yarn with a little motor. So that's a very expensive investment. But from a time perspective, right, we're talking about time, it's saved a lot of time. And that's one thing that has helped. As some costs go up, my initial labor cost has gone down slightly. Another investment I made was to purchase a postage printer from, I have a commercial account where I print the postage from home. It's amazing. Definitely worth the monthly fee for the number of packages I make. So the first time I was at the post office for 2.5 hours for the international packages, and I mean, people were ready to kill me because it was like a small town post office with only 2 people, and I took up one person for 2.5 hours, and that was a time issue. And also the cost of ink on a, those little whatever they're called, those printer things, and then the tape, and it was a mess. So that's been another investment that saved time and has really paid off. The inverse to that is each label is kind of expensive. I think it cost me about 4 cents per label, but they're sticky, and I can do the customs package from home, and I can also track packages. So I don't send out a tracking number for every person because that's very time consuming. But if you email me and you say, hey Stacy, I'm in the July Kit Club, mine hasn't come yet, that's sort of weird, can you check on my package? I can send you the number and let you know of the status update. The caveat to that is internationally, except for Canada, I can tell you when it was delivered in Canada, but for most countries, the information ends when it leaves US Customs. So, and that's just sort of how the system works. I mean, if you wanted it delivered like with tracking internationally, it's like $50 a package. I don't know if anyone wants to pay that. So that's how that works, and that's been a real innovation, and it saved me time at the post office too. So that's basically the shipping process has really changed. I've also spread it out further as more customers sign up. There's no way I could do it in one day. So this week it was basically a week, Monday through Friday. That's what I'm doing, is Kit Club stuff. So it does take a while for the packages to get out. You won't be getting it the same day as your friend. I do prioritize them, and I try to send the international packages out first because I know they're already suffering from longer shipping times, and I don't want to make that worse by shipping those last. So the international ones go out first, and then the domestic ones. And international shipping's always a thing. You know, I know it's expensive. I did a reader survey on the blog, and people wrote to me, and you know, I wanted people's opinions about the blog and Fresh Stitches, and a couple people were like, I want to order your stuff, but it's too expensive to ship. And I hear you. I charge what it costs me to ship the package, and you know, unfortunately there's nothing I can really do about what the postal service charges. And there's nowhere I could live that would make it better, you know, like if I lived in Europe or Australia, then it would cost a lot to send them to the US, and it's cheaper for me to ship it to Australia than to ship an Australian package to the US because of how our pricing scale works. So I know it's a lot, and there's nothing I can really do. One thing is that, what was I going to say? I had two things to say, and then they all got stuck. Well, one thing is that, I'm always very open about my patterns can be used with any weight yarn. So if you live in Australia or the UK and you want to use my pattern, but you can only find 8-ply yarn, it's totally okay to use the yarn that you can find in your home country. I hope I've never made anyone feel awkward or bad about not being able to use the yarn that we get in the US. I understand shipping things is so expensive. And the other thing is that the American currency is really bad right now. So Australia is, well, I guess the peak was a couple years ago, but Australia is enjoying really good currency rates right now. So that's good news. That's all I can say. I try so hard to keep the prices reasonable, and I really hope that people understand that, even if it doesn't work for you personally. I want you to know that I'm trying. Another note is also that you can cancel at any time, and I don't want people to feel bad about it. The way you cancel is you go into your PayPal account, you go to recurring payments, and you can, like, it lists all your recurring subscriptions that you have, and you can click cancel. Sometimes I get really sweet emails from people who are, you know, their situation in life has changed and they need to cancel it, and they're like, I mean, it's like a breakup letter. They're like, I'm so sorry, it's not you, it's me, and it's okay. I really hope that people aren't canceling because they're not happy. If you're not happy, I want you to tell me. But if you're canceling because it's not working for your life right now, that's fine. Like, there's no hard feelings. It's not a requirement to, like, you're not cooler if you're in the club or anything. So it's not hurting my feelings. It's okay. I do hope that the people who are in it are really enjoying it. I really enjoy putting it together. I'm always thinking about what's going to be next, like, and I really try to match the goodies with, like, the time of year or the, what the pattern is, and, I just think that's so much fun. So I'm always scheming and always planning. Was that all I had to say? I think that's all I had to say. So I went through basically how it works, how I calculated prices, how I have the supplies, and how I order them. I didn't mention that my living room's a complete disaster when this is going on. I don't post photos of that, but it is. And that's basically how it works. So right now it is a sign-up time if you would like to join the Kit Club. Like I said before, you sign up and you're enrolled until you unsubscribe. The price is not going to change on you. PayPal, wouldn't let me just secretly charge your credit card extra. I know the sign up is a little confusing. So it's $16 per shipment plus the shipping. And that chart is on the webpage, freshstitches.com/kit-club. And that's the $16 every other month. It's not $16 a month, because that would be $32 a kit. So it's $16 for every shipment. You're enrolled until you break up with me. I'm just kidding. Until you unsubscribe. And yeah, that's how it works. I think it's a lot of fun. There's no pressure. You can sign up, you can get one, and then you can unsubscribe if you'd like. Like I said before, there is going to come a point, and I'll be announcing more details later, but probably at the close of 2014, where I'm not accepting any more signups. It's a logistical challenge. I didn't mean no, I wouldn't be accepting signups ever. I just meant where the periods that you can sign up would close for longer. So there would be months where you wouldn't be able to sign up, and that's just to manage the logistical challenges. I'd be announcing it well in advance, but if you think you'd like to sign up and you're sort of like on the fence, it can't hurt to just sign up, because then you'd be in. No one who has signed up will ever be kicked out because of my logistical challenges. That's my problem. But I will be moderating the number of new signups so that it remains something I can manage and something that I can continue to deliver a quality product. Something people often have questions about is, I paid in this month and my kit hasn't come yet, and I'm just really confused about when it's coming or whatnot. And it is confusing because of how the PayPal sign up works. The best thing to do is to go to the Kit Club webpage and look at the calendar, and it will have your sign up window, and then it will have which shipment you are receiving. So if you sign up, on like there are certain dates where if you sign up, you're not getting the next shipment that goes out because it's too close. So, and it especially applies to people who signed up slightly longer ago because of the rolling signups. Okay, that's all just mumbo jumbo. If you have questions, you can always feel free to email me. I manage these questions all the time, and it's really confusing, like for everybody, including me. The way PayPal actually works, like in my fantasy world, I just download a list of people who are getting a July shipment, and PayPal doesn't work that way. So every time I receive a payment, I like copy it and put it in a spreadsheet. It's crazy. So that's how it works. If you have questions, feel free to email me. I always encourage Kit Club discussion to happen on our Ravelry group. So that's www.ravelry.com/groups/FreshStitches. I think it's at the bottom of my email signature too. It shouldn't be too hard to find. And that's where we share the photos of the Kit Club shipment that we received, how we're going along with making it, asking questions, things like that, because I also really like the community aspect to a lot of the Fresh Stitches things we do, and I'm hoping that you take advantage of that as well. So thanks so much for coming to my little chat, even if it just had water. I might have coffee next time. It might be iced coffee though. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and thank you so much. I'll check you next time.